the first thing you learn about a country club is that volume carries. Not just across marble floors and through glass corridors, but across reputations. Get us the owner right now, my father said, loud enough that a server halfway across the lobby stiffened. She doesn't belong here. My mother didn't lower her voice either. Remove her immediately. This is a private club. I stood a few steps behind them, coat folded over my arm, listening to the echo of my own last name hanging unspoken in the air. I had invited them. That part felt important. The lobby was all muted gold and polished wood. Weekend brunch traffic, soft piano from the dining hall, people who recognize each other without needing introductions. The hostess looked at me, not them. There was hesitation in her eyes, but not doubt, just calculation. Sir, she began gently, she is, don't argue, my father snapped. We've been members here for years. That wasn't exactly true. They had been guests. Repeatedly. Under my membership, I felt the familiar instinct rise in my chest, the old urge to step forward, smooth it over, apologize for tension that wasn't mine. I've done that most of my life. Made myself smaller to preserve their sense of control. My mother turned to me briefly. You should wait outside. There it was. The assumption. That I had wandered somewhere beyond my station. That proximity must have been an accident. Before I could respond, the general manager appeared from the hallway leading to the offices. He walked with the calm pace of someone who understands that authority doesn't rush. He nodded politely to my parents. Is there a concern? Yes, my father said, gesturing toward me as if presenting evidence. She's not a member. We'd like the owner. There was a pause, not long. Then the manager turned to me, not to them. To me. His posture shifted subtly, straighter. Formal. Good morning, ma'am, he said, the word landing clearly in the quieted lobby. How would you like to handle your family's membership? It wasn't loud. It didn't need to be, but it traveled. The piano in the dining room continued. Silverware clinked somewhere in the background. And yet, in that space between his sentence and my father's comprehension, everything felt suspended. My father's hand dropped from mid-gesture. My mother blinked as though recalibrating the scene. I'm sorry, what? My father said, but the force had left his voice. The manager remained composed. As the primary equity member and board appointee, your direction determines guest privileges. He didn't elaborate. He didn't need to. Equity member, board appointee. I watched recognition move slowly across their faces, not understanding of the structure, but understanding of position. I had never explained the details. Not because I was hiding them, but because explaining things to my parents has often felt like presenting credentials at a locked door. I stepped forward then. Not dramatically, just enough to stand beside them instead of behind. It's fine, I said evenly. They're my guests. My father looked at me like he was seeing a misprint. You own. He stopped himself. The word felt too large. I hold equity. I clarified, and I sit on the board. I kept my tone neutral. Informational, no edge. Around us, a few members pretended not to listen. A few didn't bother pretending. The manager waited. This was the moment that could have tilted. I could have mirrored their embarrassment. I could have let the correction sting publicly. Instead, I said, please update the account so all guest access runs directly through me. Remove any secondary associations. The manager nodded. Of course, Mom, it was procedural, clean. But it was also unmistakable. Control defined. My mother shifted her purse on her shoulder. You never told us, she said quietly. I tried, I replied, not accusing. Just factual. My father looked past me at the reception desk, at the staff who had just witnessed his demand for the owner. He inhaled slowly. We didn't know. I studied his face. Not anger now, not quite shame either. Something closer to disorientation. When status flips without warning, it unsettles more than pride. We walked to the dining room together, but the formation had changed. They fell half a step behind me this time, not intentionally, I think. Just instinct. Brunch was subdued. My father asked practical questions about the board. My mother commented on the renovations as though evaluating something she now understood differently. They were careful. Not deferential. Not apologetic. Careful. And I realized something sitting there beneath the soft chandelier light I had spent years assuming authority would feel empowering. It doesn't. It feels heavy. Every decision reframes relationships. Every boundary redraws a map that used to be familiar. After the meal, my father paused near the exit. "You should have said something," he murmured. "I did," I said. "You just thought I was visiting." He didn't argue. Outside, the afternoon sun hit the stone facade of the building. Members drifted toward their cars, conversations light again. My parents stood beside me, quieter than I've ever known them to be in a space like this. "Are we still welcome?" my mother asked, not sarcastic. Just uncertain. "Yes," I said. "A's my guests." It wasn't punishment. It was structure. They nodded. As they walked toward the parking lot, I remained for a moment on the steps. The manager caught my eye through the glass doors and gave a brief, professional nod. The scene was already dissolving back into normalcy. But something fundamental had shifted. Not because I asserted dominance, not because they were humiliated. Because clarity arrived. They now understood that I don't enter rooms by accident, and I understood that authority doesn't repair dynamics. It simply exposes them. I adjusted my coat and walked back inside. There was a board meeting to prepare for. And for the first time, I didn't feel the need to explain why I belonged there.